hopefully nothing too, obscure or vulgar shows up here, but you never know. If you stop on one of these items, what we do is, this is an individual item that you might see in Reader today. There's a title at the top. We try to pull out the right image, or at least a good image, to show you, to give you an idea of what's in the post, and we'll give you some snippet text at the bottom. If you want to read the rest of the post, like if this looks interesting to you, you can click the Read More button, and it's just like reading in Reader. This is exactly what the feed would show you. You can see the ads, you can see all the content, you see all the images in order, and you can do this on any post you want. But by default, we have this magic layout where we try to do what's the most appealing and easy to read for the user. So here, if there are multiple images on a post on the far right over there, we automatically generate a bunch of thumbnails for them, and you can browse through them all in this layout. And if this looks interesting to you, you can again click Read More and you can see the whole post. Just like in Reader, if you want to go visit the site itself, if you click the title or the big image itself, we'll take you to the site. You can go there and read it in its original format. You can leave comments, so on and so forth. A couple other things. If you prefer reading in the original format, like if you don't really like the magic layout, or you want to always see everything in the original format like the author published, you can click the little eye icon in the bottom left, and there's a sticky option. So now everything, as Zach scrolls through, it's all in the original format, and he can scroll down on any of these things to see the original content. Personally, for me, I like the magic. I like the magic layout. I think it's fun. I think it gives you a good, easy way to tell what the post is about at a glance and determine if I want to actually read about it. Like, this is kind of interesting, I guess.
And kind of horrible.
So if you're operating this on a laptop, that one's also horrible. If you're operating this on a laptop and you're starred for screen real estate, you can actually click the little button in the bottom left and collapse the timeline at the bottom. So now I'm seeing one thing at a time. I don't really know what's going to come up now, so now we're even more at risk of something horrible showing up, but hopefully we're okay. And one last feature that we built in, just for fun, is, we often sit at our desks at lunch, and we're eating while working, which is not really so great, and we're also getting our keyboards disgusting, which is also not great. And so we built a TV mode, where if you hit the TV button, it'll automatically start scrolling through all these posts, every 8 seconds or so.
8 seconds is actually what we calculated to be the scientific, exact amount of time it takes to read any item on the internet.
No, not really, but we'll probably add some options for speed here. But basically, the point is that you don't need to be signed in at all. If you look, I'm in an incognito window. I haven't signed in, and you can send anybody there, even if they don't know what Reader is, even if they don't know what RSS is, and they can immediately jump in and start seeing things. We're gonna get taken over by this. All right, if you do sign in, if you do have a Google account, there are a couple things we'd let you do to personalize the experience, and Zach's going to talk about those now.
So here's my Google Reader account. My name is GReaderTester. You can have my business card later. But if I go to Google Reader Play, sign into this account, we actually personalize the experience based on your Google Reader stuff. So if you've liked and shared stuff in Google Reader already, then we'll show you more stuff like that, things that you'll like. So this feed's already personalized stuff I like, obviously, the stuff that I've shared before. You can also choose categories. So if you go to the settings menu, choose categories, and there's a bunch of different categories, things we've pre-populated. You can choose the shared section. That'll show you stuff that friends that you have on Google Reader have, or people you're following on Google Reader have shared with you, and those will populate in your feed. If you choose arts, for example, I like Etsy a little bit. Don't tell anybody, but if you pick arts, then a lot of cute stuff starts coming up. Like that's just really cute, and you can click on any specific feed. So if just Design Sponge is one of my favorite blogs, I can click through and read the whole Design Sponge feed right there in Reader Play as well. So if you want to head back, there's a couple ways you can tell Reader Play what you like. And this the star, the like, and the share button. All those will help train Reader to show it more stuff that you'll enjoy. Starring is personal, so if you star things, no one else can see that.
Just like bookmarking.
Just like bookmarking, yeah. Liking is public, so if you like something and someone else is looking at the same item, they can see that you liked it, but they can also see what other things you've liked, so you can find people with similar tastes. And if you share things, that shares to Google Reader, to the followers you have on Google Reader. And if you don't have any followers, then it doesn't do anything. But so we just shared this item. These are these pretty vases of very random objects. And going to my shared items, you can see that that item is now in Google Reader, and if I have followers, that'll be populated to them as well.
Oh no, we failed here. Something happened.
Oh no. Refresh.
Well, theoretically, this should happen. Let's go share another item.
Big money, big money.
I might have gotten logged out somewhere. Okay,
So
well,
theoretically that should work, and if you're connected to Google Buzz as well, then anything you share from Reader Play will populate to Google Reader, which will then populate to Buzz, where people can have conversations and discuss it, which is good. You know, it's another way you can share content with your friends. Last thing is keyboard shortcuts work. It's the first of our power features that we've introduced. So if you want to like things, so you can scroll through items on the keyboard. Also, liking is L, starring is S, sharing is Shift S. All the same keyboard shortcuts as Google Reader if you're already used to those. And that's pretty much it. For those of you who are joining us late, Google Reader Play is a new item we just launched on a new product we just launched on Wednesday. This is it. It's live. You can test it out now. Google.com/reader/play. And yeah, it's a new way to browse interesting stuff online. No account, no setup required. That's it. And we have 6 invitations to our party tonight.
they're the last 6.
They're the last 6 invitations we have in the world. And I don't know how we should give these away.
I'm not really sure.
Anybody have a good question they want to ask? You could get an invitation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. The question is, how do you prevent stuff from repeating? And the answer is, we don't right now.
The last thing I'd mention is this is in Google Labs. It's a very experimental product right now. We wanted to get it out there and get a ton of feedback. So tell us what you like about it like this, and our engineers here, our product managers here, will work on iterating to help.
But you're right. I mean, we should do that, and we're looking at some ways. And it's a hard problem, right? Because obviously, if something's identical, then it's fairly easy, and we should be able to do that. But there's a lot of people who reblog things or repost things, and so we need to have some kind of threshold there. And so we're going to look at that. We don't have any immediate plans to tell you so far, but I would love that too, because it happens in Reader too, proper, right? Like in Reader, 1 million people will post about the iPhone when it launches, and yes, I know that it launched. So
Other questions? Yeah.
Like I'm subscribed to like a lot of different blogs, and so if I started this play, does it just like I have categories and labels? Is there any way to just go straight to that? You had the categories up,
yes,
but it looked like those were kind of preceded. Like, is there any way to go with my labels that I have?
we can show you.
We can do that by feed right now, so you can look
do
at
by
it
folder too. So
you
let's
can
say
do it by
this is. What do you want? So if this is your account, hypothetically speaking, you can go to any feed or any folder that you've set up, and you can view it in Play, which will then load the content of that in Play, and you can read through it.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What about mobile capabilities?
Mobile capabilities.
In the
Excellent
future?
question. In the future.
Well, so actually, we didn't intend this, but it actually works rather well on the iPhone and the Android right now, surprisingly. It doesn't have swipe, which is what we need to add, and we definitely plan to implement those. Obviously, you know, our first thoughts when we were working on this design was like, this would probably work pretty well on the iPad or something like that too, so we're looking at that too, but definitely, yeah, it works now on the mobile device actually, but it's not quite as good as we'd like it to be.
Thanks.
No, not right now. The question was, can you search only start items? And we can't do that right now, I don't think. But it's something that people ask for a lot, and it's not something that we are fundamentally opposed to doing. It's just a
We
matter
have
of
3 invites left. Yeah.
Your display seems kind of ideally suited to a large television. Is there any plans for that type of rollout?
The question was, your display seems suited for a large television. Are there any plans for that type of rollout? And the answer is, you can use it on a large television right now. Like so.
But I did run into the Boxy founders yesterday, and they were like, you know, we should build an app for this. It's really easy. Yeah, so you know, I got their card, so hopefully we'll do that soon. It should be pretty easy. It's pretty, you know, apparently very easy just to map the controls to the remote, and yeah, we can toss it on Boxy.
And for those of you who missed it before, this is in slideshow mode right now, the little TV here. So you can just sit back on your couch while you're at a party, whatever, and just let it play while you're eating lunch. Yeah.
Well, my likes and